Buongiorno e benvenuti di nuovo a
Essenzadigusto.
È un piacere avervi. It's a pleasure having you again. And today we are going to present a special dish for me that is a wild-caught Chilean sea bass crusted with pistachios. We have many ingredients: parsley, thyme, spring onions, wonderful and tasty buttersquash bisque that is going to be cooked with a base of leek and salt and pepper. Then we are going to present it on top of this bisque. We're going to have these beautiful asparagus, crispy and steamed with our wonderful base of steam. And then we are going to present also a side of little, drops of bisque of
Green beans.
And it's all going to be enriched with a nice quantity of ginger that we do not usually use, but in this case we wanted also to show that we do have an open-minded and we're not only integralist for Italian food. We have learned from our extensive traveling, and we like to mix these various ingredients from all over the world if possible.
Garnish.
This is just to garnish, and you'll see how it comes out, and it brings out everything in the plate. Very complicated dish to prepare, but then at the end, once it is all together, it is a feast of colors. It's a beautiful presentation, and it just invites you to eat this wonderful dish. So
that's it. We're gonna get to work.
Yes, and you got a lot of cutting.
I have a lot of chopping to do today.
Andiamo! So inside the water where we're gonna steam the asparagus, we have put pieces of parsley, olive oil, salt, a little bit of thyme, and then a little amount of spring onions, but not the bottom part, but the top part, the one that you throw away.
Okay, so I am now going to cut up the leek. It's a very, very important ingredient in this technical dish.
These you can cut the way you want, really, bigger.
Any old way you want, huh?
Yeah, bigger, thinner. I was telling Rosemary that this is something, that, a dish that I really like, because especially this ingredient reminds me of my nonna, my upbringing in the countryside. We always had this growing, and we used to cook it in the fall with a beautiful bisques and
it smells amazing. I mean, this is a very not unusual, but it's a very distinct smell.
Yes.
Distinct.
And,
you always know what it is.
What's really nice about being able to cook out here is having this kind of produce that it's hard to find. We are going to prepare the base, the bisque, and you will put the leek in here.
Right in the bottom.
Yes.
Nothing's in this pot.
No, leek is a little sweeter than a normal onions or anything like that. This is the family. So this is also why we're putting this.
The ginger.
You can't overdo it with salt to cover the sweetness, but you can contrast the sweetness with something a little bit bitter, a little bit more bitter that actually has a strong aftertaste. So you also have to be careful in not putting too much of this, because otherwise it'll overdo it.
You want to balance.
Yes, you got to balance. So now, olive oil and water.
How much olive oil?
3 tablespoons.
3. Oh, you've gone to tablespoons. I like it when you say capfuls.
3 capfuls.
Yeah.
Now you gotta say that there are 3 tablespoons.
This is really 3 tablespoons, people.
Yeah.
I've learned. Okay.
Thicker salt.
And how much water?
2 or 3 pinches of thicker salt to contrast a little bit of the sweetness. The water, you get 3 of those.
3, 1. So that'll be a cup of water.
Because it has to be always much more water than olive oil, as we always said, in order to actually really cook healthy. Yes, this is good. A little bit of pepper.
Multigrain.
Always multigrain. Could you put this to?
Yes, sir. Medium, slow, high. I know you want high.
High flame at the beginning. Always. This I used to love. I used to watch my grandmother while I was growing up have these huge pots. And just stay like an hour and a half doing this.
But I think
it was also so fascinating.
And really. Also meditative for her, probably. Yeah. A lovely time to relax.
That's why I really, started cooking. Okay, now we put this in here.
So this is the 3 bottoms of the spring onion.
Yes. Put a little bit of water. 2 cups of olive oil.
How much water do you
less
think?
product. That's fine.
1 of these is good. 1/3 of a cup.
Even a little bit more.
Okay. 2/3 of a cup and
salt.
2 tablespoons.
Yes.
2 tablespoons
Always
for us.
the olive oil just to get a little bit of taste inside the broth of it. But mostly it's the water and the spring onions that will create, along with the green beans, the actual
this
taste.
is for the green bean
Yeah.
puree.
So as you've seen, there are 2 preparations of 2 different bases here. Okay.
One is the butternut squash bisque.
Yes.
And one is the puree of green beans.
Yes.
And high flame, sir.
Yes, please. If I can get this out of here. Voila.
Here we go.
So Rosemary put the ginger, actually 5 little slices of ginger, very thin, because you cannot overdo it, as we said. Now we are going to put the butternut squash inside, because this has already started to cook and it's already starting to blend all the flavors and the juices are coming out.
2 cups of cut up butternut squash.
You can actually smell the ginger slightly at the bottom. Okay, now this is going to go. Voila!
So next is the fish. Okay.
Yes, we prepared every little part of it, the dish before that we could prepare. Now we're going to show you the beauty of this piece of Chilean sea bass.
Oh, beautiful.
And this is ideally a portion for two dishes.
It's huge.
Okay?
It's huge.
We take it on our cutting board, and we actually use the middle part here where the spine is, in order to cut it properly.
So we're cutting to the right of the spine.
Yes.
And we're going to use the big piece.
Yes. Of course, the thicker it is, the harder it is to cook properly and to keep it nice and juicy inside and nice and crispy on the outside. Like we did for our meat, instead of pouring lots of olive oil, we're gonna brush it. We're gonna brush it.
You're bathing that baby in a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah.
Nice.
But without overdoing it, you know? This is about fine.
Okay.
Back here, at this point, you put a little bit of pepper.
Multigrain.
All over the place. All around.
All over the place.
Then we are going to mix a little bit of this thyme, fresh thyme.
Fresh thyme.
From your backyard.
Right from the little herb garden.
This, what happens is we start putting this on top, okay?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
We put it back on the plate and we let it sit a little bit, okay? So that this can actually stand. Okay, we have done the base underneath the sea bass. We have put a little bit of thyme, a little bit of white wine, and a little bit of thin salt. Then we have actually poured a little bit of extra olive oil on top with a little bit more wine and a slight little bit of salt. And now we are going to just put it inside the oven at 385 degrees for about 15 minutes. Okay, so now see, Rosemary, this has the butterscotch notch. The butternut squash has actually cooked inside. It has all the actual flavors that we cooked it with. Now it's ready to go and become a bisque.
Nice.
Okay. 2.
Uno.
Because this won't be cooked anymore. So
Due.
and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You add some salt. Okay, the green beans are ready. They've actually sauteed beautifully with the water, the olive oil, and all the ingredients that we told you about. We're going to put it here, mix it like we did for the butternut squash. Well, after all the hard work in the kitchen, this is our favorite moment.
It wasn't very hard for me because I barely did anything.
Oh, you helped a lot.
And I learn every time.
You always need somebody next to you when you're doing a dish like this, just for the tempo and the complexity. So this is the result. You have a wonderful colored plate that you can, everything that is on is edible. These of course are fresh, but we put a little bit of olive oil, at the fresh at the end. And now before serving it, we just do this on a little bit of squeezed fresh lemon. That's it. Okay?
It smells
and
awesome.
Then we are going to pair it today with this wonderful Sauvignon Blanc from Piedmont, actually from the Dolomites. I'm sorry, so it's northeast of Italy. It is at the bottom of the mountains, so it really has the best of the land and of the mountains, and it's just dry flavor. It has wonderful flavor, intense and perfect to go with a little bit more complicated dishes like this.
And smooth.
Very smooth. That's the problem. Too smooth. You don't even feel it. And we did not say buon appetito. Buon appetito! E auguri!
Auguri!
E grazie tante, alla prossima! Mangiate! Essenzadigusto! We haven't tasted it yet.
Let's taste.
It's all yours.
Oh, okay, I go first. I know, I always go first. I'm taking it from the big end.
You should. That's where you see if we did a good job in cooking it. But you have to then, take a little bit of this.
With more fish?
Yes.
Oh, dip it in. Oh my gosh.
Do the experience.
Oh my gosh, this tastes amazing.
Mouth-watering.
To you.
Fish is cooked perfectly.
To you, Chef CT. Unbelievable. Ciao.
Ciao, grazie.
Next
Bacioni.
time.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.